The Classy Gourmet, where you will learn secrets from the top chefs in the area.
Hi, I'm Guy Sockrider, and I'm here today to do a poached salmon in a champagne cream. So we're going to start with 2 8-ounce fillets of salmon. This recipe is excellent because you do not have to use salmon. If you prefer to use halibut or another fish, you definitely can. What I'm doing is I'm taking a little unsalted butter and putting it on the bottom of the pan so the fish doesn't stick. I'm going to take a shallot and I'm going to fine chop that because that'll give a lot of flavor to the final sauce. We're just going to dice that up kind of small. And we're going to lay that in the bottom of the pan. And then we'll put the salmon on top of that. And like I said, you could do this with just about any fish that you like. It can also be done with shrimp, scallops. Put a little fresh pepper on it. I like to use white pepper for this so it doesn't cloud the sauce. And a little bit of salt. And then my favorite part is the champagne. When you use champagne for this dish, make sure you have it chilled first. Otherwise, when the cork comes out, it may come out with a little too much strength. It could be a major disadvantage. Always when you open the champagne, put a towel around it, and don't turn the cork, turn the bottle. If you turn the cork, you'll get a big explosion, it'll fly all over. If you turn the bottle, you don't lose any of it. Just put enough champagne to lightly go up the sides, about 1/4 of the way up. Shake it just a little bit so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. Turn up the heat, not so that it boils, but so it's just barely simmering. You get the champagne hot, and then you put it in the oven. You just get it boiling simmering. You place the salmon in the oven, and then while the salmon's cooking, we can get the garnish ready. The garnish is just a very simple julienne of leek and carrot. It adds a lot of color to the final product. So this is a leek. It's a member of the onion family. You want to be real careful when you cut leeks to look for sand because a lot of times they get sand stuck in between them. You want to use the greener parts just for the color. And you just make a nice, neat little julienne. And you want to do the same thing with the carrot. When you're making this dish, obviously you want to start with the fish with no skin. It needs to be boneless fillet and skinless. And then also, when you're making this dish, the better quality champagne that you use, the better the final taste of the product. And you can use a plain white wine, or you could, even if you wanted to experiment a little bit, a red wine goes very well, especially if you're doing salmon. Just use the same recipe, but substitute the red wine. And then I'm going to cut just a little more shallot to add to the sauce. Place the salmon on your serving plates. And then you want to get your fire up real high and you want to reduce the champagne down till it's almost dry. Go ahead and add your carrots because they take a little while to cook. Add a little fresh ground pepper to that so it gets a lot of flavor. And you'll need just a little bit more salt. And then we're going to add the heavy cream to that. It's a little less than 1.5 cups. I'm going to put the lid back on to make that cream get hot quicker, but you want to be careful the cream doesn't boil over. Actually, we can add some of the shallot now as well. can actually, while you're making the sauce, you should put the salmon back in the oven just to keep it warm. Once the sauce starts to simmer a little hard, you want to add your leeks to it. And then I'm going to cut a little bit of unsalted butter that we're going to add to it at the end. That creates a great shine to the sauce and gives a lot more body to the sauce as well. So now we have the sauce simmering. We want to reduce it down just a little bit more. You just want to be careful it doesn't boil over on you. The sauce is almost ready. I'll bring the salmon from the oven. And start adding the butter to it. And that brings out a lot of richness in the sauce as well as making it very velvety, very smooth. You want to spoon a little bit of the leek and carrot mixture over the salmon. And then pour the sauce over it. It's a very simple dish to make. It's very easy, very quick, and you don't need any products done ahead of time to make this properly. It's a very delightful dish.
Chef Guy, what an amazing recipe. Poached salmon in champagne cream sauce. Now, I'm sure we have something we can do with this little leftover champagne.
Well, one of the best things to do when you make a dish with a sauce, you always want to serve the wine that you're using in the dish.
Okay.
And you definitely don't want to waste a great bottle of champagne like this, do you?
I agree.
So I think we should try a little bit.
I think we should try a little bit. Thank you so much. To a wonderful recipe and a great chef.
Thank you.